The show you're about to listen to may contain themes of violence, occult activity, strong language, and other sensitive material, as well as a trigger warning. This podcast is meant for educational purposes only, and we mean nothing but respect to the parties involved. Listener discretion is advised. We strive to tell stories in a truthful manner, but press, media, and other sources cannot be verified. Sources can be found in the show notes.
Remember?
I'm starting.
Yeah, listen to our context.
I hate that man more than I hate anything ever. This is coming for you at my high school. I need to turn up. At my high school, at my high school English teacher, I hate Beowulf, and I hope you know that.
I think I read it my senior year of high school.
I swear to God, our entire senior year, like the entire thing, Allison will agree, our entire senior year for our like last English class, we focused on like Beowulf. And now I have to read Beowulf again as a college sophomore.
Oh, I do remember. I saw Grendel. I'm like, I remember Grendel.
Yeah, F that man. I can fight him and I'll take him down. What do you mean? Now I have to read Beowulf in the whole thing in like a week. That's on me though, because I waited. That's on me. But
I can't help you there.
I hate Beowulf, and all my homies hate Beowulf. I thought about withdrawing from my mythology class today because I'm just done with it. But I'm not going to because I'm a bad bitch.
You are. It's.
Anywho, welcome to Brain Soup.
We have to figure out how you can rope something in.
I know. Welcome to Brain Soup. My name's Bria.
I'm Tegan.
And I hate Beowulf, in case you didn't know.
I can tell. I wasn't too fond of it either when I read it.
Because it's boring and I've read it 4 times. And at this point, do I even need to reread it? But what if I forget something? I need to actually read it. Let me stop talking myself out of things.
I graduated 4 years ago.
I've graduated like almost 2 years ago.
I was looking at the date and I'm like, this is about the time I would have started reading it in my English class.
Because I remember sitting at and at this point in time I've always been obsessed with Julie and the Phantoms, but like I was really obsessed with Julie and the Phantoms because on my like regular computer, because I had like a school computer and I had a regular computer at the time because would provide us with. I said I'll bleep. We're gonna bleep that out.
You gotta bleep. What's it called? Too. Why did I say Judy's cup?
I don't know. Wow, I'm spilling all the tea. No, you guys caught me on a day that I needed to rant, so here we go.
You gotta do a lot of bleeping.
I do. Yeah, at my old job, which was a coffee shop, I remember working, it was like a birthday party, and I had videos of Owen Patrick Joyner, who plays Alex and Julie and the Phantoms. He used to make like these YouTube videos, and I was watching them while writing about Beowulf. So this had to have been in like December of like then, and I swear it went from December to like literally March. We were learning about Beowulf and like the hero's journey and stuff. And then as a theater kid, I had already learned about the hero's journey in Beowulf, and now I'm learning about the hero's journey in Beowulf again. Why do I need to know so much about the hero's journey as a I guess if I'm like writing movies and stuff,
you gotta need to know a little bit.
I need to know a little bit, but like I know too much.
I don't think there's ever too much.
I know too much, Deegan. No. I think I'm just irritated.
You know a lot about Marvel movies.
I do, and that is the hero's journey.
Hey, there you go.
I do have Marvel sweatpants on today, so...
You do?
I do. Literally. Anywho,
Speaking of Marvel, did you see that? Steven Yeun is now
yes,
casted.
and guess who? Guess who leads the Thunderbolts? Bucky. That's who I think is leading the Thunderbolts, and that's what Steven Yeun's gonna be in as the Thunderbolts. And I'm so unpopular opinion. Yeah, unpopular opinion. But I love anything Bucky Barnes, and I'm very excited for the Thunderbolts movie. And I know, like, everybody's like, why are we doing this? They're just a bunch of super soldiers who do this. No. I love them.
For those who don't know, Steven Yeun is the one who played Glenn in The Walking Dead.
Yes,
and
we will go to the movies together.
I will actually watch this movie.
I will provide you. I don't know how I'm going to get you into Marvel. Like, I'm going to make
this will be the way.
We're going to make you a quick start guide to Marvel.
Because there's a whole bunch of characters that were in The Walking Dead, or actors and actresses who
Michael Rooker, who plays Merle, plays in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he does great. And then Michonne plays in Black Panther.
Sasha
Okoye. Is Sasha?
Or is that Star Trek?
That might be Star Trek.
But I know people want her in the Marvel Universe really bad.
I think she would be good in the Marvel Universe.
There's somebody else too.
There's talk about Norman Reedus becoming Ghost Rider for the MCU.
I would die.
And honestly, if that happens, my mom already loves Marvel like I do. Like, I got her into it. We got COVID at like the same time last year, so we were just like laid up in bed and we watched all the Marvel movies. And then like there's news that he might become the new Ghost Rider. So we don't know yet.
That would be the way to get people into the universe, though.
It will be.
Everybody loves Norman Reedus.
And I've always loved. Can he like adopt me? Like,
we love Norman.
I have like a list of people I want to adopt me.
Guy.
He is goofy, but he's a sweetheart.
Anywho, what episode is this?
I think it's either like 18. I think
we gotta check.
We're gonna check. It's already been chaos.
It's been insane.
When Tegan texted me that she was here, I was in my car, literally inhaling a McChicken.
She was. And I was jamming to old school Taylor Swift.
I said, I see you. She was like, you just got here? And I was like, I'm eating lunch.
That's how it goes.
It does go. I'm feeling very chaos today.
That is who you are, though.
It is. This is number 18.
18.
So I think that's what I said.
Yeah, you said 18 and 19.
My talent. I think I'm the talent.
You are the talent.
Nope, it is 18. And we're here today on this day.
On this day, living. It's Friday, but it feels like a Monday to me.
I don't even know what's going on.
It's almost midterms. That's the best way to put it.
That is how I feel. My whole rant on Beowulf started because I was thinking about like my midterms and stuff. So that's why I started ranting about Beowulf, because my whole midterm is based on Beowulf.
Mine's on media law and ethics.
I have one on Beowulf. I have biology. I've been doing good in biology.
That's good.
That's good. Eric doesn't give us midterms, so that's great. Love him. I do have to review a movie for him, which literally can do that in my sleep.
You can do that in a minute if you really want to.
And it's on camera, so I'm talking it. So, like...
You can talk movies for hours.
I could talk movies for hours. That's going to be so easy. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, as of this day, we're waiting on midterms. When this comes out, it'll be when we're on spring break, right?
It will be... Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be on spring break.
Mm-hmm. Our recording schedule, we've explained it a little bit to you guys, but we record like pretty much a month's worth of podcasts.
Or we try.
We try to. Pretty much a month's worth of podcasts at the beginning of the month and just kind of post them. And so this first podcast that we post this month is actually one we recorded last month.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And now it's my week.
Now it's your week.
Why'd I go Ariana Grande? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And
connection lost. What does that? Oh, the keyboard died.
It's okay.
That's okay.
This week I was toying with what I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I was toying between two cases. One of them being a fan suggested, right?
Yes.
And then the other one being one that kind of has been on my mind for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with that one.
Okay. That fan suggested case will be coming up
So we're gonna keep that
in the following months, though, because
We want to talk about it.
Yeah, we want to talk about it, and I already have notes for it.
You do.
So.
Yo.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I loved The Land Before Time.
Yes, you
growing
do.
up. It was my favorite movie. That's what got me into dinosaurs. My first job, I wanted to be a paleontologist. I loved dinosaurs. I was always caught at a museum looking
Can we go to the museum?
I would love to.
I want to go to the museum. We have, I think this is another tangent, but like people say there's nothing to do in our town.
There's plenty.
But there's plenty to do in our town. Y'all are just lazy.
Are we lazy or is it too dangerous?
I mean, I don't know.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. I think I feel fine out and about.
I like over in that area. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
But we should go.
As a 20-year-old, I still have fun at this is going to need a bleep. Why don't we just start bleeping things out when we're talking about, I don't know. I tear that shit up still.
That would be
I still have fun there.
My brother and sister-in-law have a membership for the year to go there. Well, with my nieces.
Yeah.
And they love it there.
Let me sit with your nieces and play in like the one area where like they set it up as like a male place, or like once it had like a train in there. Like that is so fun. As like a teenager, I would have fun. I was also the teenager that like played with Barbies until like I was a freshman in high school. So
hey, I would play with the water table all day, every day.
I could too. So it's fun.
It is fun.
I still find little joys and things like that.
We will definitely go to the museum.
I want to go to the museum so bad.
Have you been there before?
I've been there. I go maybe once every 5 or 6 years.
Because I have my bestie there, who is one of the dinosaurs.
Is it Jane?
Yes.
I love Jane. The last time I went was right when they got the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or not the Tyrannosaurus, the Triceratops.
That's about when I went, and that was years ago.
That was the last time I went, and I think I was in middle school still.
I think I was in elementary school, which that would kind of put it right, because
yeah, I was in either elementary school or middle school the last time I went, and they had I used to go. My grandpa used to take me all the time because they used to my grandparents used to live right on the river over there, and we used to go like once every other month and just hang out with the dinosaurs.
I was there every week. My mom would take me constantly because I loved dinosaurs.
I love them. I looked. We were talking about like stuff we wanted to do because Brady and I always make a list of things, like a bucket list for the summer.
Yep. And I'm doing that with Zach now.
Yeah. And so we always make one for the summer, and I was like thinking of the things I wanted to be on it, and I really want to go to the aquarium because I love the fishies.
I love fishies.
And
penguins.
And otters. They have like where you can walk around with the otters, and I want to walk around with the otters.
I want to walk around penguins.
Penguins.
I love penguins.
And then I want to go to the museum and see the dinosaurs. This is bad, but my nephews were little, and they threw something in Jane's enclosure.
Oh no.
And I literally went under the ropes. And so I was in the enclosure with Jane for like 2 seconds.
Love that for you.
Yeah. It was panic inducing because that's fully like dinosaur bones. And yeah.
You were with a celebrity.
I was with a celebrity. I was like, excuse me, ma'am. And ducked right back under. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm in your personal space. My bad. My bad, bro.
We love that.
Yeah. We love tangents.
We love tangents.
We love the chaos.
But it would make sense. And
it does.
Did you ever watch The Land Before Time as a kid?
I was little.
Okay.
I was little. I had the VHS. I remember.
I did too.
I remember. I might still have the VHS somewhere if I look.
They have the full series at Walmart on DVD.
Well, that's what we went when we were like DVD shopping and stuff. Yeah. That's what you said. You were like, I think I'm gonna get a DVD player just for that. Because I said, wow, I really need to get an actual DVD player, and you're like, I'm gonna get a DVD player just so I can watch this series.
This is the series I would get into again because I love dinosaurs. And this, it was my childhood. This and freaking Care Bears.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
The old school ones, not the crappy ones that there are now.
Yeah. I liked morbid stuff as a kid. I was a Goosebumps kid.
I was not.
I was a Goosebumps kid. And I don't know why I didn't like horror movies until like last year because I was watching Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely a Goosebumps kid. What else did I really? And Power Rangers.
You're the complete opposite of me.
I was a tomboy and I liked the spooky things. As we know, I still like the spooky things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved the Power Rangers. So
Who's your favorite?
my favorite, like of the seasons,
No, of the...
it depends on the season. It depends. My favorite season, Time Force, if you guys know which one that is. Love the time traveling and and if my favorite ranger in that one is the Green Power Ranger Trip. He had like a gemstone in his head and green hair. This is where my fixation for E-boys came from.
Nice.
No.
Nice. I love that for you.
We do. But yeah, I liked more live action stuff when I was
Okay. I was more
a kid.
animated.
I didn't like superheroes growing up, and then I was hit the rough mark of our COVID years, and I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
Bucky.
Bucky. Yeah.
Life be lifing.
So the final thing that told me to do this case was when I was scrolling on the TikTok,
Yes.
of course.
The
and
tickety tock.
I'm on tattoo TikTok every once in a while, and I come across Land Before Time quick tattoos.
Those were cute.
And I sent them to Bria, and I'm like, is this a sign?
It is a sign, and I think she should get one.
I do want one eventually.
I definitely think you should get one.
My mom and I talked about getting matching tree star tattoos.
Does your mom have any tattoos?
No.
Dang.
She always said she would never get one.
Really? That's so me. That's powerful. My mom, she can't get tattoos because she's on like blood thinners and stuff. But like a year ago, she was thinking about, I can't remember what we were gonna get, but we were thinking about getting matching tattoos. But I actually have my appointment scheduled to get my tattoo for her in April.
Oh, hey.
So yay.
Coming up.
So I'm excited for that. And it's gonna be a zombie tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fun.
yeah.
Okay, shall we get to it?
We shall get
We're
to
sorry,
it.
guys.
We're sorry. We also haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
A while.
So
I think more than that.
more than that? It hasn't been? I don't know.
Last time we were with each other was when we watched Drag Race.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Was it?
Because we went shopping.
Oh, yeah.
That was still a while ago.
That was a while ago. We had fun.
We spent too much money. That was Super Bowl night. So whenever Super Bowl night was.
About 2.5 weeks ago?
I think so.
Dang. All right.
Okay,
So
before we start,
Oh,
we give a disclaimer at the beginning of our episodes, but we really want to say that disclaimer again. So you guys got 17 minutes of us talking.
Just talking.
And now this is where we're going to get into some heavy
Very
stuff.
heavy.
About some child abuse and amongst other things. So this is another kind of trigger warning, disclaimer, and whatnot to tell you if you don't want to hear about any of this stuff,
Then check out another one of our episodes that's more lighthearted.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a trigger warning for mainly physical and mental abuse.
Yes.
And we take that seriously.
We do take that very seriously, especially in anybody, but especially in children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're covering.
Today.
Well, Tegan is covering in this episode.
It just, like, growing up, I didn't know. My mom told me she didn't want to tell me this happened to this girl.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to ruin my favorite movie series for me.
Yeah.
So she didn't tell me. And then I found out by myself. I'm like, oh my God. So today we're talking about Judith Barsi.
Yes.
Who was the voice of Ducky in The Land Before Time, which happens to be my favorite character.
She's so cute.
Nope, nope, nope.
Nope, nope, nope.
Yep, yep, yep.
I say nope, nope, nope all the time.
So my mom and I do too all the time.
I don't, just when I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
Nope, nope, nope.
That was definitely me earlier when I was like, you're going to withdraw from the class. And then I was like,
Nope,
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 nope. So she was a 10-year-old rising Hollywood star.
Yes.
So her story begins on June 6, 1978 in Los Angeles, California. But before this, we are going to talk about her parents a little bit.
All right.
So her parents were Maria and Joseph Barsi, who were Hungarian immigrants that fled to the U.S. separately following the 1956 Soviet occupation. So they weren't together at this point. They didn't know each other existed.
Mm-hmm.
And they met in a bar in L.A., but I've seen a bar and I've seen like cafe type thing. So
Okay.
some type of thing where Maria was a waitress of some sort and he was a customer.
Okay.
So in LA, you kind of need to know who your customers are and everything, and she did. She made sure she connected with her customers, and she suddenly sees Joseph comes in, and Joseph was instantly attracted to her.
Okay.
And she saw that he had money and would pay for his drinks with $100 bills. So he was kind of flashing his money off a little bit.
He was definitely doing a little show off. He was like,
Hey.
you see this, Shawty?
And he talked to Maria as well.
Okay.
So they kind of, it's like feelings at first sight type of thing.
Okay.
And they were very different from each other and grew up completely differently. So Maria came from a wealthy and happy family, while Joseph came from the exact opposite, like poor, abusive, just a rough situation all around. Joseph was tormented at school and was made fun of for not having a father in the picture, for along with other things.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
That is really awful.
Kids are ruthless.
Kids are nasty, and me and you have talked about this
Yeah,
quite
we
a
have.
bit in the last couple of months, honestly.
They are ruthless, and they will say what they say.
They do.
Because they don't know boundaries. They're
No.
kids.
No.
And even nowadays, this was back in the 1970s. Or no, 1950s.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, kids, yeah. Kids are kids.
Oh. Like 1970s, 19-ish. But still.
Yeah, kids are kids, and sometimes, I don't know.
When they come from bad homes, that doesn't help.
No.
And it's kind of hard to break that cycle when it keeps continuing to happen, but it needs to be broken.
It does.
Because you never know what somebody is going through at home.
Yeah.
That's why I've always told myself, you don't know what somebody's going through at home. Be a friend to everybody.
I agree with that. I agree with that very much.
This is just like a statement in general. Be nice to everybody. You don't know what somebody's going through. If somebody needs a helping hand and you're available, try to help them.
Yeah.
You don't know what that might mean to them.
Yes.
So, back to the story. Joseph would turn to alcohol for a coping mechanism, which is a common thing.
Very common.
It's common in my family.
Yeah.
Very common. So, I know what that's like. It never got to the abusive type thing, but maybe mentally, it messes with your brain.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
And it hurts. So, I can only imagine what he went through, which kind of made him to the person he kind of is, because he didn't know anything other than what he grew up with, and that's what sucks. He originally went to France before going to the U.S., and then he went to New York, and then Arizona, and then finally L.A., but I will get to why later.
Okay.
The two fell in love very quickly and got married in 1977, and quickly after, that's when Judith came along.
Okay.
She was their only child, but their absolute pride and joy, which a lot of only children are. So Joseph actually has 2 other children from a previous relationship.
I see.
And they lived in a different state.
Okay.
So when he was in France, he met another woman, and then they had 2 kids, and then they moved to New York.
Okay.
And then Arizona.
Okay.
A little bit on Judith. Judith was known as a sweetheart to anybody. And she seemed like that, even through her voice acting. You can just tell.
You can tell, because she has one of those, sweet little baby voices.
I don't know how old she was when she voiced Ducky.
Probably...
She started her acting career when she was 5. So between 5 and 10, so I want to say probably about 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah.
Because it was before All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
Her favorite colors were pink and purple. Her favorite flowers were sunflowers. She loved a lot of what I liked as a kid. So Care Bears, Smurfs, Cabbage Patch Kids, even though Cabbage Patch Kids scare me now.
Cabbage Patch Kids are a little scary.
They're a little spooky, but they're little dolls, and
they are.
Little girls love dolls. Anybody loves dolls.
Yeah.
She loved playing outside and in the sun. And in the first half of her life, they lived in a smaller apartment, but then moved to a bigger house later on.
Yeah.
So they were in a really small apartment. She wanted to be outside, like any kid back then. I want to be outside now.
I do too. When it's nice out,
Yeah.
I'd just be laying in the grass.
Yeah. So, a little bit about Maria, which is the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Maria always wanted to be an actress / celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
She always wanted to be in that type of life.
Yeah.
She loved what she had seen. She realized she would never be able to be one with the life she currently had. She had a husband. She already had a kid. But Joseph wanted her to be a stay-at-home housewife and a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. Some women just don't want to do that.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I gotta be up and moving around.
Like, yeah, I want to be with my kid,
Mm-hmm.
but
you deserve to have a life too.
exactly. I don't
Yeah.
want to spend my entire time. I want to be my independent self. I want to go make money, make my own money,
Yeah.
pay my own projects, you know?
Yes.
I wouldn't want to stay home all the time.
No, I agree with that.
If I am staying home, I want to be working at home.
Yeah. Because you deserve to, like, women and anybody, even, like, for, like, the fathers who may, like, think they have to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys deserve your own things. You deserve to go do your own things and have your own money and whatnot.
So, Maria took the opportunity that saw Judith could be trained to be a little superstar, so she can kind of live her life that she wanted to live through Judith.
Mm-hmm.
Which, is that fair? It could be taken in either way.
It could.
But in this way, Judith loved doing it, so then it's okay. I feel if she was okay with doing it, and the mom was super supportive, which she was, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't either. But
if you're forcing the kid,
if it turned to be like maybe Judith or the kid liked it at the beginning, but then's like, wow, as they get older, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets bad if the parents like, well, you have to.
Right.
At that point, if the kid's not into it anymore. But if the kid's liking it and if the parent's supporting it, then
you're right.
Why not?
You don't want to force the kid to make the money for you. That's no. It's not fair.
There's a right way to like do the parent of a child star thing. And some parents of child stars don't do it the right way.
Even with YouTubers now using their kids in videos, that pisses me off.
Yes, because if they don't like it, then don't do it.
Exactly, but they continue to do it because they get checks.
Yes, and that's nasty.
It's awful. So, Judith's big break came when she was just about 5 years old, when she was cast for a commercial.
Okay.
And she received an agent either that day or the day after.
Okay.
So, she's in.
She was in.
How she actually got the job was kind of funny. She was out ice skating.
Okay.
And they were shooting a commercial. And they saw Judith, and they thought she was perfect for the part.
Okay.
So it just kind of fell in her hands.
It did.
It was kind of like it was meant to be that she was meant to be in this field. Mm-hmm. And had she survived, I feel like she would have still been kicking it to this day.
I think she would have. I think she definitely would have.
Her first gig was a Donald Duck orange juice.
Okay.
How cute is that?
That makes sense.
And she did so well that she was actually recasted for this brand constantly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she landed over 70 roles total, whether that be in TV or commercials. Okay. 70 roles.
70 roles.
In the 5 years that she was doing it.
That's crazy.
Like, she was perfect for this.
Yeah.
She loved it. She knew her lines. She was a dream to work with, according to the producers.
That's great.
And she was having fun. That's the main thing. If you're having fun.
The main thing, not
right.
fun.
Well,
but also main fun.
Main fun.
That is the main fun.
By age 7, she was making over $100,000 a year.
Oof. Mm-hmm. And see, the right thing to do would be I think there's laws and stuff now.
Yeah,
for
there
like,
is.
I think I learned about this in like Intro to Mass Comm.
Mm-hmm. There's child labor laws.
Yeah,
and all
the
that
child
stuff.
labor laws and how much of it has to go into like their savings and stuff that they get when they're like 18 and things like that.
Right.
So if the parents were doing it the right way, then they were doing it the right way.
Right. And this is what allowed them to move into a 3-bedroom house in LA.
Yeah.
So they were using the money wisely.
Yes.
They weren't just spending it on themselves.
No. They were doing what they needed to do.
Right. They wanted to get a better life for their daughter.
Yeah.
So everyone was happy during this point.
Mm-hmm.
Her first TV role was a series called Fatal Vision.
Okay.
And she was in The Twilight Zone,
Okay.
Punky Brewster,
Okay.
The Land Before Time, and so much more.
Mm-hmm.
She voiced the lead in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie, but I know it'll make me cry.
I don't think I could
I don't think
at
I
this
could.
point now.
No.
That's what I notice. I can't watch a lot of like the animated stuff. I can't watch Finding Nemo.
Really?
It gives me anxiety, like bad.
Like because of the beginning scene?
I don't even know why. Or Moana.
I've never seen Moana
Moana also, like, because I love the music in Moana,
Mm-hmm.
but I was watching it like, I don't know, it was like my junior year of high school. And I just got thinking, and then I started crying, and then I couldn't stop crying, so I had to shut it off.
Oh, no.
Like, I can't do a lot of, like, the animation stuff anymore, because
It gets sad.
it hits me more than, like, live action things. I don't know why.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But even Pixar stuff nowadays, it's like tear jerking out of nowhere.
What Coco tore me up.
I've
and
never seen
Kanto,
Coco.
those two literally for days. I was a mess. Like fully tore me up, and I don't think I could watch Coco now.
Really?
Because it's about like a grandma, and then at the end the grandma passes away, and I think if I watched Coco now,
yeah,
I would
you'd
be a mess, and it would take me out for literally days.
We don't need that.
We don't need that.
No, you don't need a sad
Pixar and DreamWorks. I cried during Puss in Boots. I cried during Puss in Boots. Like, bad cried. Like, Luca was like, girl, what are you doing? And I was like, the entire time. That was a tangent. Animation tears me up. I don't know why.
I'm the opposite. If it's live action, I'm done for.
No, animation tears me up.
That's why, like, I cry so much during The Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh.
Every freaking time.
Every time.
Like, I made it through Lori's scene without crying this time, and I was so proud of myself.
That's good.
But now it's, like, coming to the part where, Zach, if you're listening to us, turn this up, where Daryl finds Merle.
Oh,
we're getting
that's
close.
The worst one. That was the worst one that ever happened. My mom and I rewinded it 4 times.
4 times?
We kept rewinding it. I don't know why we kept rewinding it, but that was like the worst one for us. Was when Daryl finds Merle.
We're coming up to that point so soon, because we just got past the part where they found Morgan.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's coming in the next couple episodes.
Yeah. The jail part of The Walking Dead where they're in the jail is like the best.
It's the best era. Yeah.
Era of it. Like right when they left the jail, that's when I fell off. I still need to watch the last season of it.
I do too.
But that's probably not going to happen till the summer because Lord knows. Anywho, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Would tear me up violently.
I can't deal with animals passing.
I can't either.
And
I cried over Pot Roast dying, the cat from TikTok, or Noodles the pug.
Oh, yeah.
And I was crying over a crab on TikTok. A crab. Her name's Howie.
Oh.
And she wouldn't molt, like shed her shell and stuff. And the lady was like, I don't think Howie's gonna be with us much longer. Who's there?
I think Luca.
No. I don't know. Sorry,
I thought I saw somebody.
Is busy today. But yeah, I cried over a crab. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
So let's get back onto the story because we still have so much to cover. She is best known for her roles in Jaws: The Revenge.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
She's in Jaws: The Revenge.
I've only seen the first Jaws because are the other ones even worth watching? I don't know.
You gotta find out, I guess.
Jaws is long, bro.
Well, now that you know that she's in it, you might need to watch it.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know how it is. And she played Land Before Time as Ducky. And then Anne-Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Okay.
And she was the perfect, like, match for any, like, type of roles these days because she was so tiny for her age.
Yeah.
Like, when she was 5, she was measuring about, like, a 3-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So she was tiny.
She was itty-bitty.
But that was really in demand because if you're a casting director and you need like a 3-year-old and somebody looks like a 3-year-old but has a higher like intelligence in quotations, they're going to want them because they're going to be more willing and more like memorable to their words, and
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
They're gonna like
Memorize.
know what they need to
Yeah.
do a little more.
More so than a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So she was becoming more and more successful at this point, and this is where her dad's starting to get jealous of his own daughter,
Okay.
which is,
That's icky.
it's icky. And was very bitter towards her. Like, he would be really mean towards her. She would be called a spoiled brat by her own
Literally,
dad.
because she's out there literally working for their money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the neighbors had always, like, felt something off about Joseph. Like, there was a spiked fence around their property, but they were in a safe
Yeah.
area in LA.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is pretty weird.
It wasn't like a spiked fence. It was more like poles,
Yeah.
like coming to kind of like not like a point, so
Mhm.
like that's gonna injure you, but like a rounded type point
Okay.
kind of thing. And in LA,
That's
not
apocalyptic.
Yeah, you want your neighborhood to look the best. You want to have the best value. That's not gonna make it look safe at all.
No.
Joseph would also drink quite frequently because of his bitterness. So, like I said, a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And he would have DUIs and all that type of stuff. He would come back from drunken nights very mean to Maria and Judith, but specifically to Maria at this point.
Yeah.
And he was very aggressive when he was drunk.
Okay.
Very aggressive. And he was abusive in previous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why he actually moved to LA originally.
Okay.
Because he wanted to start off fresh and nobody would know his reputation. Because he was abusive to his old wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's why his ex-wife moved away with the kids, because
she
knew. And he was really, like, he knew how to hide his abusiveness.
Yeah.
Which a lot of
abusers
know how to do.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be caught. He would say things along the lines of him killing his wife to his friends. Just
to
like
his friends?
Yeah. He would threaten Maria into staying with him. It was just a bad situation.
Yeah.
Like, his friends didn't really see it as like an actual malicious thing. He thought that they were just like, hey, he's just joking.
Yeah, but why would you, like, how would you, that's like, I would be like, dude, what?
Exactly.
Like, I think I would. And then my brain goes to, oh, it was a different time. But, like,
I still wouldn't
rub me the right way.
No. It's just weird.
It is.
He even missed his daughter's 8th birthday party.
Oh, no.
He was drinking. Because I don't know if he didn't want to go or what was going on.
Yeah.
But he didn't show up. In December of 1986, Maria would make her first police report.
Okay.
Against her husband for abuse when Judith was just 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So police did not find any evidence of the abuse. So she had to drop the charges.
Yeah.
And this is when Joseph really kind of stopped drinking at this point.
Yeah.
And the abuse did continue, but it got worse.
Okay.
With everything going on, Judith still went to school and acted as a normal kid. She went to public school.
Okay.
As a child actor.
That's a lot of, I don't know. I feel like a lot of child actors I know tend to, or maybe not a lot. The Stranger Things kids went to public school.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of them is in college. I can't remember where he goes, but he's like fully dorming at a university.
That's
and,
awesome.
Like, stuff and
good for him.
Hanging out. So I don't know. I think it's cool when, famous kids get to do that, like comfortably too.
Right.
Because that's what they deserve.
Right.
It is what they deserve.
She was in what? If she's 7, 8, she's in first grade?
About, yeah.
First, second grade?
Yeah.
I think it's the Nickelodeon actors that were kind of forced to do their work.
I've heard it was Disney. I think it was both Nickelodeon and Disney. Because I've heard, like, talk about, like, the Sprouse twins.
Yeah.
And, like, Selena Gomez. And, like, that's high school. But,
right.
like, the Sprouse twins are the, like, what I can think of, like, the youngest that were on a Disney show that I can think of right now. That really has ended up somewhere else. And they were, like, forced, like, to do school. Or there's a video of someone, I can't remember who, but, like, they show the on-set classroom, like not the on-set classroom, but the classroom that was in the studio kind of space.
That's what I remember for Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the iCarly people.
Was it?
I think.
And she's like, the homework goes here, and there's like a tack board and stuff, and like, I'm like, I understand, but like, can't you film their stuff during summer
Right.
and not make them do this?
They should still be normal kids and enjoy their school experience.
Totally.
But I'm glad that Judith did.
I am too.
And she's had friends in school.
That's great.
Which is even better to hear. Judith was open about things to her friends at school and would tell them about the things that her dad was doing at home. And it came to the point where her friends were scared to even go to her house because of the horror stories that she was telling them, because she didn't know any better. She didn't know that she wasn't supposed to tell, or like in quotation, was not supposed to tell.
Yeah.
The abuse had gotten worse and worse over time, and he was then becoming more violent to Judith rather than Maria, because he was so bitter towards
Judith.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
To make matters worse, he would make up for these incidents and buy her apology presents.
Okay, so that's like, I hate when we're talking and then my brain can't remember the term I want to use about stuff, but there's like a term for like abuse, but then making up for the abuse by buying stuff, and I think it's like love something, but I can't remember what it is. But that's exactly what he was doing.
He was trying to buy back.
Yeah, her trust and her love, but they're little, and kids are like, I don't want to say kids are like dogs, but kids will literally like, you know, like you hear stories about dogs and how they're abused, but they're still so sweet. That's how kind of kids are. If they're abused,
they don't know any better.
They don't know any better.
They know them as their parents, and they know as
dad.
That's people to trust.
Yeah.
It's just awful that she had to endure that.
It is.
Any kid. Any adult.
Yeah.
Anybody. While she was getting ready to go film Jaws, Joseph put a knife to her throat and threatened her to come back with her mom. He was always scared that when they took these trips to go out and film, that they would never come back.
I wish they never came back.
Yeah.
I wish they would have left for Jaws and never came back. Yeah.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it does get worse. Because I think she was packing when her dad did this.
Really?
Like, came up, closed the door behind her, and put a knife to her neck.
Oh, and she was like 8.
Yep. While they were actually out filming Jaws, Maria would open up to the other women around, making friends while they were on set, because she didn't really have anybody because she was a stay-at-home mom. She would describe what was going on at home, and the other women were saying to get out of there, obviously.
Yeah.
But Maria wouldn't. So the other woman thought that Maria was lying about the abuse.
Okay.
It was kind of like a boy cried wolf type
situation,
thing.
but it wasn't a boy cried wolf.
It wasn't.
You can tell when a situation you should never like disregard.
No.
Like when someone says they're abused, but if they keep doing it and there's nothing, that's when you can kind of tell. There's no good way to kind of explain what I'm trying to say, because you should never disregard like abuse allegations and all that kind of stuff, but there are people that cry wolf.
Right.
And there's ways you can tell when those people cry wolf.
And it's hard to tell
who actually like that's happening to.
Is those people that ruin it for the other people that are actually being abused.
Yes.
That need help.
Yes.
So, when coming back after filming, where did I put it? Where'd it go?
Oh, no. She's pulling a me.
Well, my screen kind of shifted.
I see.
Maria went to her brother's house after filming, which I think was in New York.
Okay.
And Joseph found out about it.
Okay.
I don't know how, but he did.
I don't know.
But then Joseph called Maria and asked if he could speak with Judith on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Do you remember what I said was going to happen if you didn't come home?"
Oh.
And this is where Judith told Maria about what happened.
Yeah.
And they flew right back home. Right after that.
I feel if they, I don't know, if they would have stayed away somehow, I wish they never would have went back. But I understand they're scared.
They were scared.
They're scared. They didn't know what else they could do. They didn't know that, what could happen.
While they were out doing these movies, Joseph was actually talking to other women and had other girlfriends at this time and refused to leave Maria, even though he was with other women. She was forced to stay in this relationship or else something would happen to them.
Yeah.
Basically. She had started finding other ways to see if Joseph would leave her, so she left the house a mess and all that. But none of it worked.
Oh.
This is where the neighbors would start to be concerned.
Okay.
Maria declined and wanted to stay at their own house and wanted Joseph to leave on his own. So she was kind of denying what the neighbors were saying.
Yeah.
Just so they can, because she wanted the house.
And I think if things in a different world would have worked out differently, if she would have left and went to divorce lawyers and stuff and she got the kid, she would have been able to keep her house. But that's in a different world because we know what happens.
Right.
And stuff.
And this is at the point where Judith was start getting auditions for All Dogs Go to Heaven. Mm-hmm. And when she was actually in the audition, she broke down because of the stress. She was pulling out her eyelashes. Oh. She was gaining weight. She was pulling out her cat's whiskers because of the stress that this kid was under because of her dad.
Yeah.
She loved the acting.
Yeah.
But she was scared of her father.
Mm-hmm. And that was probably taking the enjoyment out of what she loved to do for her.
So when she broke down in her audition, the agent immediately noticed and called her into his child psychologist.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
Okay.
Judith was said to be severely mentally, physically abused child.
Yeah.
So she was very severely abused. Mm-hmm. And this is where child services were notified, finally, because if there's a child who is severely mentally and physically abused, this is where somebody would have to step in. Mm-hmm. So Maria did rent out an apartment and would take Judith there to have their safe haven during the day, and Joseph didn't know about this. Maria said to the social workers that she did have the apartment, and she needed to start the divorce. But since they had the safe haven, the social workers just kind of dropped the case because they had
a safe spot.
And the social worker that had Judith's case was over capacity on cases.
Yeah.
The most that somebody's supposed to have is 50. Mm-hmm. She had 67.
No.
So at this point, she was no longer involved with Judith, and there was no more social worker on the case.
Well, they needed to find another social worker.
Exactly. They kind of figured that everything was okay since they had.
No, because.
But still, it's not okay.
They have to go back home.
Right.
They could spend their day at the safe place, during the day. Mm-hmm. But then what happens when they have to go home?
Right.
To them. The social worker, they needed a social worker on the case.
But since they needed to drop 17 cases, it's this might have been the case where it didn't seem so severe that they dropped it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean somebody else could have picked it up.
Yeah, there had to have been another social worker they could have found, and then they got her into that one so quick. Then why couldn't they
find another
one?
So since they did have the apartment, she was ready and started packing stuff up, so, by little, so that Joseph wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
On July 10th, she packs up a little bit and heads over to the apartment, but Joseph ends up following her.
Oh.
So Maria was able to calm down the situation and claim that it was a friend's place.
Yeah.
And Joseph did believe it, but
Yeah.
There's no telling. If they ended up going missing, he would have automatically went there.
There. Yeah.
So they were off. They didn't have a place anymore. If she were to divorce him, then Joseph were to get all the assets.
Really?
That's what it said in the video I watched.
Really? Okay, so that meant the house.
That
so
house
that
and
disregards everything that I said about if they divorced, then she would most likely get the house.
Realistically, they would have to split it.
They would, yeah.
But since she was getting Judith,
yeah,
you would think that they would have gotten the house regardless because she had the kid.
Well, not to put my personal business out there, but when I was growing up, my parents literally were on the brink of a divorce, like literally had the paperwork, everything. And their lawyer said because my mom was taking me and like she got the house automatically because she had me. And you can't displace a child.
Right.
But apparently not for them, so.
I don't know what the situation was, like I said, but she wanted the house and wanted everything that was inside the house.
She deserved the house because she had the kid. And there's weird laws. I'm not sure what it's like in LA.
Right. Especially back then.
Yeah. Because I think even now it's like the kid has to be at least 12 to be like, well, I want to live with my mom.
And she was only 8.
Which I don't think is... I think when the kid knows.
Right.
And they should be able to pick who they want to be with.
I think it's age 12. I think you're right.
I believe it's 12 because I remember being old enough to be like, I want to be with my mom. F that dude. Like, give me my mom. But I think... Which is... I don't know. I don't like that rule. Like, 12?
It's still...
Kids know where they're safest.
Yeah.
Kids know where they are safest, and they should be able to say it. It shouldn't be like, well, she's this, however old, 8, so joint custody, because she's 8 and she doesn't know. No, she knows.
She knows,
She
especially
knows
in this
what's
type of
going
situation.
on.
Like she wanted to be with her mom, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
The dad was very unstable.
Yes. And I think they could tell that by the way she broke down in that audition too. But guess what? There's no social worker. So.
Not anymore. So Maria's friends were saying to do what's best for Judith and get out of there and save her. But she wanted the house.
Yeah.
Judith would end up staying at a family friend's house as they kind of figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
And they welcomed her with open arms and allowed her to stay there as long as she wanted.
That's good.
Which we love friends like that.
We do love friends like that.
In July of 1988, Judith told the couple that she did not want to go home because she said that Daddy always wanted to kill Mommy.
See, kids know.
Kids know.
Kids know.
But the couple didn't think she was serious.
See, no.
Believe kids.
Believe kids.
They are so blunt, they will say anything how they feel.
Like if they literally.
They will say if somebody's dangerous or not.
Yes. And people need to start believing kids. Because, like, that she knew what was happening.
So, as I noted earlier, Joseph had a friend that he was telling that he was going to kill Maria. That was like kind of like a joke.
But it's not a joke.
That is when the friend challenged him back and asked what he was going to do with Judith after he killed Maria. And that is where he would say that he was going to have to kill her too.
See, I don't understand this friend now.
No. Supposedly the guy's name was Peter.
Well, Peter needed to tell on his friend.
Yeah, because with his history, it's like you don't take that stuff lightly.
No.
But like we said, he went to LA to lose his reputation that he had previously.
But I mean, like I said, even if I didn't know his reputation or anything, him saying things like that would have made me feel
icky.
Gross.
Yeah.
I would have been like, why would you say something like that? Like, literally, why? What's the reason to say something like that?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't either for me.
So Judith's last role was All Dogs Go to Heaven, so she ended up getting the part even after her breakdown. And the director also directed Land Before Time, too.
Okay.
So that's kind of where...
That's why she knew.
And he noted that she was very talented and very easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And he had plans to save her, save and have her in future projects as well.
Yeah.
And basically said that she was a star.
Yeah. Directors do that.
Yeah.
Directors I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but directors keep their actors. Christopher Nolan does that a lot with Leonardo DiCaprio. Is it Nolan? Maybe I'm tripping. With Leonardo DiCaprio. Or no, not who did Titanic? James Cameron? I don't know.
Wasn't it Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was a different director.
Oh.
I get I call them the big three. In my head, they're the big three. There's Nolan, Spielberg, and I can't remember the other one.
This is where we need Luca.
My brain stops at directors, so ignore me.
That's where he
I focus on the actors.
He's all director.
He focuses all directors. Yeah.
On July 25th, 1988, the neighbors saw Judith playing outside on her pink bike, living her best life. And that night, Maria put Judith to bed, and then Maria ends up going to bed. Mm-hmm. Joseph was drinking this night.
Mm-hmm. As he did.
Like any night, really. But this night was different. He waited for the girls to go to bed and be asleep. That's when he knew that they were asleep, he went to the closet where his guns were located and grabbed the .32 caliber pistol. A .32 caliber pistol and headed to Judith's room. She was peacefully asleep when she was shot. She was shot dead set in the head, one shot.
Oh my God.
The gunshot immediately woke Maria up.
Yeah.
And she knew what the sound was.
Uh-huh.
By then, Joseph had already headed to find Maria, and she was trying to push him to go to Judith's room.
Yeah.
He had eventually gotten her on the floor, and that's when he shot Maria, too. For the next few days, he lived life as he normally would, but he left the bodies where they were. Ugh. Judith was supposed to be at a recording that day, and the agent was immediately notified, and that she was not there. So the agent got a hold of Joseph, where he would say that a black car picked up the girls and he didn't know where they went. At this point, he had moved out of the house, but he came back to the house to say goodbye to his baby girl, in quotation marks.
Okay.
How messed up is he?
He's very messed up.
On July 27th in the morning, one of the neighbors was out in her garden and hears an explosion. She calls 911, and by the time she gets off the phone call, there's already smoke coming out of the window. So she tries to put out the fire with her hose because she was out in the garden, and she was waiting for the fire department to get there. When they arrive, they find 3 dead bodies inside the house. Gasoline was used to create the fire, and there was residue found all over the girls' bodies.
Oh.
The canister's cap was also near Judith's body, which means he started with her first.
Yeah.
The explosion that the neighbor heard was actually a gunshot.
So he started a fire and then shot himself?
I would assume.
Okay.
It was Joseph taking his own life.
Yeah.
And with the same weapon that he took Maria and Judith's with.
Oh.
The next morning, the news broke that Judith was murdered by her own father.
Yeah.
She wasn't necessarily a celebrity.
Yeah.
But the things that she starred in was well known.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was so young, it was huge news, especially with her being killed by her father. Mm-hmm. So what's really sad about this, this whole thing is awful.
Yeah.
But Judith and Maria did not have gravestones for 16 years.
16 years?
16 years, and were buried in unmarked graves for 16 years.
Oh. How do you know how they finally got them? Their headstones? Does it say, who? Okay.
This would change in 2004.
Okay.
When there was enough money funded through donations, through, crime people and those people in the community, to get the girls their headstones
Good.
so they can be identified.
Mm-hmm.
Now they each have their headstones and are next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was telling you earlier,
Yeah.
this is heart-wrenching to me,
It
is that on their headstones it says yep, yep, yep.
That's
On both of them, because Ducky was her favorite role that she ever played.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted both Judith and Maria to be remembered in like a happier light.
They deserve to be remembered in a happier light.
Mm-hmm.
They do. It's what they deserve. And I don't know, that man, it was sick.
Very sick.
I just don't understand the being jealous of your daughter thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how parents can be jealous of their children. I really don't. And I know it happens, but like...
It does happen, and it sucks.
It does.
It's awful.
I genuinely just don't understand how...
I don't even know what he was doing for work.
The mental, like, state of being jealous of your child is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The ending song for All Dogs Go to Heaven was written and dedicated to Judith.
Mm-hmm.
And she never got to see the finished product of her final role because it was released in November, the following November that she passed.
Yeah.
So she has a song dedicated to her at the end credits of All Dogs Go to Heaven, and I listened to it and I about cried.
I have memories of that making me cry when I was younger. Let's see.
I forgot what it's called, but it was basically a dedication to her life.
Yeah. Because it's what she was so little.
She was 10 when she passed.
She was 10.
She had just turned 10. Because she turned 10 in June, and she was killed on the 25th of July.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get the name of the song?
I didn't. I'll find it later. I'll find it. There's an artist called All Dogs Go to Heaven. I don't know.
It's Love Survives, I think.
Okay.
I think that's what it says.
Okay. I'll find it and listen to it. And we'll link it for you guys as well.
And another crazy thing about the whole situation is years later, the house was actually put on the market again. After all that occurred.
And so the damage was repairable damage?
It wasn't really like it wasn't like a fire explosion. It was the gunshot that they heard. Okay. So it was more so like fire damage. So that's kind of easier to fix, I would think. But it is now said that the house is haunted.
Okay.
And the current family says that they have paranormal experiences.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to delve into that, but I really do want to delve more into that because I'm more in the paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
But imagine all the negativity in that home.
I just bet. I bet that it's a lot of negative energy there. And, I mean, they have rights to be.
Oh, yeah.
They have rights to be like that because of what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many times people should have just listened, but they didn't.
What's messed up to me is, one, the friends didn't really listen.
Yeah.
They didn't assign a new social worker.
Yeah.
The mom wanted the house, and she kind of took the house over her daughter's life almost in a way.
In a way.
So it wasn't anybody's fault necessarily on their end, but Joseph's.
It was wholeheartedly Joseph's fault.
He was mentally ill from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if she really knew about his previous relationships.
That is very true.
So I don't think she knew about what
happened in those.
Right.
That's very true.
I just know that the previous wife got out of there.
Yeah.
Because she saw what
was going on.
And by the time that Maria saw it, it was too late.
Yeah. That's... Yeah.
So, in honor of Judith, I would kind of go and see all the work she has done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she was a light to everybody.
She was. She seemed, like we said, just by her voice. And I think I've seen, like, an interview with her when she was... Little. Like, right when she started.
Mm-hmm.
And she seemed like, I don't know, just a little ball of sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Just adorable. Yeah. She definitely would have popped off and, like,
for sure.
grown up and stayed in the industry. And, like, yeah.
Because what year was she born? 1978. She would have been what?
I think she would have been our little rom-com queen.
Oh, for sure. She would be 45 this year.
Yeah, she would have been in some rom-coms. And she would be making her little transition into, like, the mom roles now and stuff in her life. So, yeah.
It's just an awful story.
It is awful. It is terrible. And, yeah.
Just be careful of who you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, a big thing.
Yeah, and
obviously.
Listen to people if they...
Listen to people. Be an open vessel for somebody to talk.
Yes. And, like, never discredit them.
No.
And if someone gives you, like, I don't know, an icky feeling if they're talking the way Joseph was, listen to them.
Mm-hmm. Take note of it.
Take note.
Watch for signs.
Yeah, signs.
You never know somebody's true intentions. You never know when somebody's intentions are going to change.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted the kid.
He did. And, I mean, it started out she was his pride and joy.
Right.
And then
jealousy.
Yeah. Just watch. Just listen. Be attentive. Be aware. Help people. Help your friends when they're down. Don't just be like, well, you should do this. And then don't try to, help them with, what's going on.
Listen. That's the best thing.
Listen is
just
the best thing.
But, like I said, take a look at her roles.
Mm-hmm.
Because she worked hard.
She did work hard for being so little.
And she did amazing. She did amazing. She loved it.
Yeah. We will link the song.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put Tegan's sources. We'll have some pictures for you guys. I'm gonna try and find an interview of her just so we can see her being a little ball of sunshine.
Yeah.
Because I think I've seen one before.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was behind the scenes of something with her voice acting. But yeah, we'll put that in our sources for you guys.
Mm-hmm. It's just a tough case.
It is a very tough case. But if you made it all the way through, we thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
We know it was kind of hard to get through.
It was hard researching it this morning.
I bet. I don't know. I had a chill up my back the entire time.
Because I was just giving you snippets of what I was sending you.
Yes. And I didn't read notes. I didn't have notes in front of me. Normally we both have, like, the notes of the case. But today I just listened. I didn't look at notes. I was just listening to Tegan tell the story. So I jumped ahead a couple times in the case where I said something and then it kind of followed up in you, like the thing about the house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read the notes beforehand, so
right.
So it was a bit of a different dynamic for us today.
I kind of liked it this way.
I did like it this way a lot. I think it worked better, so we might start doing this dynamic for us because it did have a feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Of the other one not knowing what's going on much in the case.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, we hope you have a great rest of your day, night, morning.
Mm-hmm. After listening to this, go get a treat because it was a very heavy case.
Very, very heavy.
And if you made it all the way through, you deserve, like, I don't know, something nice.
Even like a quarter.
A quarter, yeah.
Because it was a tough case, and I won't ever look at these the same again.
No, I don't think I could go and watch either one of these now, because I know they would make me cry, but now knowing and hearing her voice and stuff, it would make it 10 times worse.
Because I think the real abuse started when All Dogs Go to Heaven
was starting.
Right. So if you want like a happier time, probably Land Before Time. Really recommend that.
It is, yeah.
It's such a good movie.
I'd like to watch them again, but I need to recover now.
I do
too. Yeah.
Anywho, get yourself a treat.
Get a treat. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another story for you guys. And hopefully that one, I think that one's not going to be a story. That one's going to be lighthearted. So if you pack these up and you listen to them, then listen to the next episode right after this one. And hopefully we'll get you in your giggles instead of in your sad.
Yeah.
So, anywho, follow us on the socials.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And we'll link them below.
Yeah, we have to fix them to where they're all the same name.
We do. Maybe that's the YouTube. I'm behind on the videos. We're students.
Forgive That's our excuse.
It is our excuse. We're students. We already had a fiasco today, so
that was a fun fiasco.
It was a fun fiasco. We were like, "What time?" And I was like, "I have class."
Like, I have work.
Yes. Okay. But anywho, we are leaving you where we are for now.
Crisis and Chaos signing off.
Bye-bye. Bye.